Greetings to you all. My name is Ako Precious Makubele, and today we'll be talking about the school feeding program in our community. So the order of our presentation would be as follows. I'll be taking you from the community background until the sample, and Ms. Kozankateko will be taking you from the analysis until the implementation, whereas Ms. Riyaya Ngobeni will be taking you from the evaluation of goals until the end of our presentation. Our community background. Our community is Tiyani Secondary School, which is located in Tiyani village in Limpopo. The total population in 2019 was 857, and the infrastructure and services in our community are 10 mobile classes, 8 classroom, science lab, 7 toilets, netball court, 3 staff rooms, and a food storage unit. The social economic structure in our community is that the level of income and the employment rate is very low. The aim of our community background is to investigate and collect baseline data for understanding the community's basic and social needs related to the problems in our community, which is Tiyani Secondary School. For our hypothesis, we hypothesized that learners who benefit from the school feeding scheme system are coming from disadvantaged families or backgrounds. We also hypothesized that learners that receive their food and are food secure are most likely to participate in class and become more interested in their schoolwork. Our rationale. From our observations and interviews with the kitchen staff and learners, we found out that many learners fight and push each other while receiving their school meal, which results in the majority of learners not receiving their meals. From our interviews, we found out that learners who do not receive their meals during break time end up spending the rest of the day with empty stomach. Having monitors will help eradicate the bad behavior that is there when learners are receiving their school meal during break time. Research design and the tools used. The information contained in our community profile was gathered through a qualitative method. The reason why we decided to go for this method was because it will provide us with the exact reasons for the disorganized feeding scheme program as we established the needs from the participants. So we'd also be able to establish the impact that the absence of this need had on the everyday life of the community members. Interviews were conducted using unstructured questions. The interviews were 5 to 8 minutes long. Observations were also considered to describe the behavioral changes that took place during lunchtime when the learners were receiving their meals. The sample. We sampled 45 learners to give their opinion about the challenges the school faces. We also sampled 10 educators and 5 kitchen staff to view the difficulties they had with the learners in the school so that it will help us in identifying the problem in our community. So our total sample was 60 out of 847 people in the community.
For the analysis of our project, we identified our 3 most important needs in our community, all derived from our community members. We did this by conducting interviews and just by observing physically. We interviewed 60 community members, 10 being educators, 5 kitchen staff members, and 45 being the school learners. From those interviews, the 3 needs are: number 1 being the disorder with the school feeding system, number 2, shortage of classroom, overcrowding of classrooms, number 3, the school is not attractive enough, it needs to be cleaned. We evaluated the 3 needs, and the disorder with the school feeding system was identified as the number 1 need, with many cons like students receive their food from the same kitchen and there are not enough equipment. Coming to our findings, we put our needs in a hierarchy of needs, starting with the most prevalent need of all needs identified, which being the disorder with the school feeding system, where there is lack of equipment and no order, causing a lot of students to end up not receiving the school meal and making them to attend the classes on an empty stomach. We got this particular information from the interviews that we had with the school learners. With these learners attending in empty stomachs, they tend to lose concentration in class, and this coming from the interviews with our teachers. And for our second most prevalent need, shortage of classrooms, where we found that there is overcrowding of classrooms and the teachers are unable to control the classes. We got this information from the interviews with the teachers too. We went on to have an interview with our principal, him mentioning that during hot days, there is a lot of disruption of classes. Moving on to the reasons of choice specified. From the interviews that we conducted, we got that many students are from disadvantaged families. With the overpopulation in our community, it is not enough for the students to just have 2 lines when receiving the feeding, because the food ends up not accommodating everyone. Due to the fact that every time new equipment is bought, it does not last for a long time, the teachers have stopped purchasing the equipment, and not having enough funds also hinders the purchasing of the equipment. The implementation of our project. The aim of our project is to ensure that every student benefits from the school feeding system. Our goals were to raise money for us to be able to buy the equipment that we need, to raise a minimum of 2,000 to 8 for the purchasing of the equipment, and to also find a local affordable store for us to purchase the equipment at a low price, and to also put together a team of monitors for supervision during break when the students are receiving the feeding.
Evaluation of goals. Our main goal was to raise money for the purchasing of serving equipment. We wanted to raise a minimum amount of 2,000 rand from a fundraising event which we had planned, and we only managed to raise 1,752 rand, not only from the fundraising, but a donation of 500 rand was made by the Tiyani Church's organization. We also wanted to find an affordable local store where we could purchase our serving equipment. We managed to buy 10 buckets and 15 bowls under the price of money that we had raised. We also managed to assemble a team of supervisors that is composed of 30 people in our team. Procedural steps of the plan. We presented our plans to the school board to ask for permission if we could implement our plans on the school premises, and also if we could notify the whole school about the changes we wanted to make. We notified the kitchen staff about the changes that were bound to take place during break time. We had planned to purchase 20 buckets and bowls with the help of the committee, but we only managed to purchase 15 bowls and 10 buckets that are being used and have added up to the school equipment that is being used at the moment. We assigned 30 monitors to help monitor during lunchtime and also keep order. The making and distribution of badges was made by us so we could save money. Sustainability. To ensure the sustainability of our plan, we decided to have a team of monitors that is composed of students and also teachers to help keep order in line. The progress of the monitors is limited due to the COVID-19 restrictions and different attending schedules that are being used at our school. The complaints about the disorders that are made in line are reported to teachers and have serious consequences. Dishes that will be used at our school will be topped up every year to accommodate new learners and new faces that are going to attend our school each and every year. Overall evaluation of our goals. Our goals led to our aim, which was to ensure that the school feeding system becomes beneficial to everyone that is involved in our community. And due to COVID-19, the monitors have been having a very limited progress due to the fact that they attend on different schedules and the fact that our school has not been receiving food for the past 5 months. So they work on a very limited pace. 500 rand was donated by Tiyani Church's organization in order to help us reach our minimum amount that we had desired. After implementing the first plan, which was our main plan for the learners to receive their meals in the kitchen in groups, the monitors had a hard time keeping order in the kitchen. We then decided to go with the contingency plan, which was for learners to receive their food in their classes. This led to the school feeding system being organized and learners were benefited by it. This shows that our aim was successfully tackled by our goals. Reference list. All the information presented to you from our presentation was sourced from SRC Community Project and also our SRC Implementation Plan. This brings us to the end of our presentation. Thank you.